Jack boy, baby!
Come here! Let's go, give me a flipper!
All right, welcome to episode 84 of Amateur Hour. I'm Cody in the booth. This is Troy with the truth.
In the booth
In the booth.
as well.
We're currently watching the Jack Boys and Exclusive playing their game for Week 5. Currently, Jack Boys are leading 40-19, and I think that's going to kind of stand that way. There's only a few minutes left. So we're thinking the Jack Boys will probably come away with the win here, and they
Just got it. Is that an interception? Yep, they just
Yeah.
got it in. They're going to play around with it now. Atterbury's walking off the field as the play's going on. Labrie is running.
Yeah, they really miss Bruce and Jason Williamson. So, all right. So I guess we'll sum up what has happened since the last podcast.
Okay, so that's week 4 and 5.
Okay, so we'll do a partial Week 5.
Yes. So week 4, the Herd played Exclusive. This was a lower division versus upper division, intra-division series here, week. So the Herd beat Exclusive 20-14 in a hard-fought game. What a fun game that was.
Yeah, Herd got 5 interceptions?
Yeah.
Between James Morrison and Lucas Powell. And it was a tough game. Exclusive's a really good team. They didn't have their quarterback, and I think that was one of the deciding factors, really.
Yeah, it really was. That we had some, we sacked them. They had some bad snaps late in the game, which pushed them back, and then just the interceptions. Every drive, it seemed like we just had interception after interception, and it was good defense. The Herd have played some good defense all season.
Yeah,
it's been fun to watch. I know we've only really played one upper division team since the Expendables game was a loss because they didn't have enough. But still, we're playing much better defense than we've had in
years.
Forever.
Yeah. Okay. Next game.
Next game was the Jack Boys versus Shiesty Season. The Jack Boys won that 44-8.
Yeah. There's really nothing to take away from that other than Jack Boys are really good and Shiesty Season's brand new.
Yeah.
Shiesty Season has some good players.
Boy, they're getting better. We'll talk about that here for the Week 5 game. They've gotten better each week. I think they've got some really good athletes. They just got to come up with something. They don't really have much of a plan yet. So
no, and they do a lot of those stupid penalties that new people do out here, like flag guard.
Offsides, false starting. Yeah, it was like real egregious stuff that's easy to see and. Then they don't realize they did it.
But they have shirts. I like that.
They have shirts.
That's
and
cool.
Hey, they compete. They really do compete.
They play hard.
That's a good hard playing
Those boys
team.
come with it.
Yeah. So the next.
What'd you say, Aaron? Sputza?
Yeah.
Chutzpah?
Chutzpah. They have chutzpah.
I think I'm going to say Sputzpah from now on. They've got that.
Isn't that a Russian?
Sputzpah.
Isn't that a Russian satellite?
Oh,
Sputzpah.
We better be careful. We might get targeted.
We are right now already. The next game of Week 4 was Expendables versus the Valve. Expendables won 46-6. I mean, not much you can say about that. That's just a really good team playing a team that's just trying to figure it out.
Well, and the Valve has played before, but a lot of their guys have never played.
Yeah.
Like, this is a different group of Valve people, and they don't really have a quarterback. They don't have, they're a lower division team for a reason.
Yeah, but they show up every week and they come out and play hard. They do, but the Expendables just a better team, and that's the Expendables' first win of the season. So that was good for them to get on the board because they've had some struggles this season. Next game, the last game of Week 4 was Inglorious Bastards versus the Hurricanes. Now I didn't see the second half of this game, but this score. I had no clue. The Hurricanes won 48-38. What a barn burner that sounds like.
Okay, so it was kind of interesting. The Hurricanes were winning by, I think, they were winning by a touchdown. Then they scored again, so they were up by 2 touchdowns. Okay, so then they want to make it take it. Well, make it take it. If you don't get that first down on the first play, the other team gets it. So they failed to get the first down, which gave the Inglorious Bastards the ball on the 20. I think there was only like 2 minutes left at this point, like maybe 1 minute something. So Inglorious Bastards score really quick at the 20, and they wanted to make it take it. So then they drive down.
Yeah.
And they scored, but they missed their extra point. They needed if they got their extra point, I think they actually would have been tied. But then the Hurricanes scored one more time, kind of in garbage time.
I love this rule. I love the make it take it rule. I love it.
Isn't that right, Aaron? That make it take it almost
changes the outlook of a game.
Last week. It was a good game, though. They played really well.
And Glorious Bastards are a good team. Hurricanes are, if not the best team, they are the second best team in the league.
I believe that.
But the Inglourious Bastards putting up 38 points, that's a big number against a team like that. So, I think good for them. That's a team that's getting better. I think, like I said, the Inglourious Bastards could possibly be the best team in the lower division. I mean, we beat them, but not big. I mean, it was
not by a lot.
It was like a 13-6 game.
Right.
So, those are two good teams right there. So, moving on to Week 5. We're in the middle of Week 5 right now. The first game was the Herd versus Shiesty Season, and the Herd won 34-21.
That last touchdown though was
garbage time. Garbage time touchdown. It was really 28-21. We just got one late after they had kind of given up. Shiesty Season had some good offense. It was not our best defensive performance, I'll say that, but we put up some points. We don't score a lot of points.
No, we don't.
But we play.
We sure get down the field.
We played. We're not great inside the 20, but we played good defense, and I think that's a big difference for us. We're playing some good defense, but Shiesty Season has some good athletes. They were making plays when the ball was up there. They made the play, and we didn't. So they had a different quarterback came out after like the second drive, and he started completing passes. Was real quick in the backfield. They just need a plan.
They had a very fast guy playing quarterback for a while, and he was like, once he got around the end, it was really hard to get his flag pulled.
Yeah.
So I think that the difference in that game was experience and being organized. However, for a while our defense was like nobody covered anybody for a couple plays.
It was really
confusing.
It was getting a little frustrating because I'm used to seeing us in position and we weren't in position this game.
Right.
So it was a little, what have you. So the next game just finished, the Jack Boys versus Exclusive. Jack Boys won 46-19. Now that was a back and forth game in the first half. Exclusive was, I think that at half it was 21-19 or something real low. I mean, it was a close game.
Yeah.
And then Jack Boys in the second half just did what they do and just wore you down. They just wore them down. They did. And once again, Exclusive didn't have their quarterback. Bruce wasn't there. If Bruce is there, that team is steady and goes down, and he doesn't throw bad passes. That's the thing. He knows where to get the ball.
I think Bruce is a 12-point difference.
Yeah, he doesn't make mistakes
because he's not going to throw that easy interception to give them the ball, and probably would score another touchdown offensively.
Yeah, and not to say that Atterbury is someone that's going to make a bunch of mistakes. He's a good athlete, but he's just not.
He's a third-string quarterback.
He hasn't played quarterback. He's not a full-time quarterback, so it makes it a little makes it hard to make those plays when your first time to play quarterback was 1 week ago.
No, I think Atterbury could beat kind of a bad team.
Yeah.
No problem. But man, once you have that rush in your face, it's hard to just come out here and do it.
But then it's not just Bruce. Like Jason Williamson, who's been their quarterback when Bruce wasn't. He wasn't here either.
Right.
So that's another weapon.
It's
another weapon you take away. So
and getting him the ball too, just not playing quarterback, just getting him the ball.
Yeah. So they've got some good weapons. I'll tell you what. We were talking about this during the game. Andy Romano, he has played. I think he's played every season since we started this league back in 2015.
Most of them. I think,
he is one of the guys that has gotten absolutely better each week, each season. You see him out here and it's like. I just keep thinking back, he was on a team that we beat real easy. Now he's one of the best players out there.
Well, he shuts down like a deep third of the field by himself.
He makes good catches across the middle. He runs. He's one of the one of the most consistent players out here. I mean, it's fun to watch him. See how much better he's gotten every season.
My favorite thing about him is that he plays really hard and he cares about it. He's really excited.
Yeah.
He's not rude or anything. He's a good player.
He's sitting over there in his trunk right now. I see him. Okay. Yeah, there he is.
Well,
he's here.
Andy Romano, if you're listening to us, we're watching you.
Well, I see you.
Take that however you want to take it.
I think he's waving at us. Yeah, he just waved at us, I think.
Did he?
Yep.
Okay.
So right now, the next game is the Hurricanes versus Expendables. This is going to be a fun game. The Expendables have their quarterback today, but so do the Hurricanes.
This is a good game.
This is like two full teams, two upper division teams that are just going to maul each other for the next hour. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Men mauling each other.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We're 2 minutes in, and the Hurricanes have the ball. We'll see. The next game is going to be Inglorious Bastards versus the Valve. And like we talked about, Inglorious Bastards are one of the better teams. They're getting better each week, and the Valve is not one of the better teams, but they come out and they're going to play hard. They're going to give an effort. So that'll be a fun game as well. I think Inglorious Bastards will get that win. This game right here,
Yeah.
Hurricanes and Expendables, I have no idea who's going to win this game, really.
I think the Inglorious Bastards will win by 20.
Oh, yeah, I think so, too.
Now, this game they're watching here,
Oh, he's got through it.
yeah, he sure did. Knocked Josh Hall right to the ground.
He didn't run. He put his hands. He didn't run through him at all. It was a good play.
So, I think the Hurricanes will win this game, but I think it'll be close.
I think so, too. I think the offensive Expendables will be better this week. They're going to put up some more points, but
Man,
the Hurricanes are just they have so much they have out there. So many weapons on both sides of the ball.
Trey Green's here, though, and Hall is, of course, here. They have some really fast guys in the back end on defense, the Expendables, that is. They have a good
pull.
rusher.
Good pull by McHale right there. That's 4th down, I think.
It is 4th down, so I think it'll be a good game. We'll see.
Yeah.
And that,
So the standing so far through week 4 and not half of this week, but through week 4 has in the lower division in 4th place is the Valve at 0-4. That's a first down. Who's gone? He's gone. Good pass. And DT makes a move and gets into the end
is
zone.
making for good radio.
Yep. Sorry. In 3rd place in the lower division is Shiesty Season at 1-3, now 1-4. Inglorious Bastards in 2nd at 1-3. And the Herd in 1st place at 4-0, now 5-0. The upper division, Expendables are in 4th at 1-3. Exclusive is in 3rd at 2-2, now 2-3. The Hurricanes are in 2nd at 3-1, and the Jack Boys are in 1st place at 4-0, now 5-0.
Yeah, so it's probably going to stay the same.
Yeah.
Even if the Expendables win, I think they still might be at the bottom.
They'll be 2-3 along
Tied
with
exclusive.
So yeah, they'll say it'll be by points and head-to-head and things like that. So
When
right
did
now
that-
it doesn't really matter.
Did those two teams? Yeah. Okay, so Exclusive won against the Expendables, so the Expendables will still be at the bottom.
Yeah. So and right now the standings don't really matter because we still have
Yeah, you still
5
have
weeks to
half
go.
the season left, and
Yeah.
you get to play everybody in your division again.
Yeah, that's extra point. Is good.
Okay, so now it's 7-0 Hurricanes, and JC ran a really long touchdown. So
Yeah.
okay, well, good. We're through half the season, just about.
Yep. Well, Yep. Yep.
I'm not used to being this sober when I'm doing this.
I'm not.
so,
Yeah.
You know. Well, Aaron, do you have any words for your upcoming game?
Aaron's
Aaron
wearing
says no.
Aaron's wearing eyeglasses and sunglasses at the same time. What a style that is!
Well,
I think he flipped me off.
that'll happen.
Oh, it was a one finger, not the 2 finger.
Yeah. So, all right. Do we have another segment, or is this it?
Let's we can come up with something. We'll do that or something else. We're always a fun group of guys.
Well, we'll be back in just a fun guy. We're a bunch of fun guys.
We're a bunch of fun guys.
Yeah. All right. We'll be back in just a minute.
Welcome back.
There you go. Okay, so Troy last week said he had something he wanted to talk about. Now his passion isn't as fiery this week, but I
yes.
still thought it would be a fun discussion. So go ahead, Troy.
I came across an article from Barstool Sports, and it was about participation trophies.
Yeah.
And this is a guy who's very young, so he's kind of in that participation trophy era.
Gen Z millennial person.
Yeah. And it was about a Jeff Foxworthy joke about participation trophies. And the joke was, I played every sport, and it was weird back then. If you wanted a trophy, you had to finish in first place. Okay, that's fine. That's not really a joke. It's actually a kind of
An observation.
Yeah. So this, and we know nowadays everybody gets something. It's everything. It's just kind of how sports are. The winner gets something, but everybody else that plays in the league gets something too. Children's leagues,
and not just sports, but if you go to a dance recital, if you cheerlead, everybody gets something when they participate.
Yeah. So what his point was in this story, in his article was.
Very funny article, by the way.
Yeah.
I'll put a link to it in the comments.
He said, I'll just use some of the lines. He said, old people who throw around the phrase participation trophy about my generation are pound for pound the dumbest people in the world. Why? Because who the fuck do they think we're buying all these participation trophies? Do they think the 10-year-olds playing Little League were using our $3 a week allowance to buy each other trophies? No, you morons. It was your generation buying them for us. So it makes sense because when I played, and this
your team won.
I played on teams that did win.
Yeah.
So I did get something, but I was never like, where are our trophies? I just played, and then if they gave me a trophy, I got it. Like, it wasn't like I played because I want to get a trophy.
Right.
I just played because I wanted to play and win. That's just me being competitive as a person. But we had, at the end of the season, our teams would have team parties, and the coaches would give out awards for whatever.
Yeah. And who's giving out the award?
The parents
the
were.
Parents.
Yes, not the kids. So, but I think he makes a great point about who the parents, the people that are the generation before them, are the ones creating the participation trophy thing. And I don't mind. I run all these 5K races, and every finisher gets a medal.
Yeah.
Now, that's an individual thing. You're finishing, you're doing something really hard. I understand that. As a team.
And for a lot of people, that stuff is, something they train for just to be able to run 3 miles or half marathon.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's important to them because they're like, okay, I put myself through all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I really don't think if you're a kid who's not very athletic, but you went out there and played hard all year, I don't think it's bad to give somebody something. So I don't think these parents are horrible.
But do you think the kid?
The kids care
do you
at
think
all.
the kid is thinking when his parents signed him up to play baseball at 10 years old? Do you think he said, "Well, I'm doing this because I'm going to get myself a trophy. I need a trophy at the end of it"?
No, I don't think that's the case.
He shows up because his parents say, "Hey, we're going to practice now. Hey, we're going to the game now." Like, that's what's going on. And then the parents say, "Well, where's my kid's trophy?" It's never the kid saying, "Where's my trophy?"
No, and I was telling you, Colin's mom, whenever he would get a trophy at the end of whatever year of football, she always wanted his trophies.
Yeah.
And I don't, that's not something I care about. But I do think it's about the parents. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
That's you wanting to do something nice for your kid, or look, it's fine. It's just, let's not make it participation trophies are the reason for anything at all.
Now, I will say that I think as it goes on and everyone gets an award for everything, as you grow up, you start thinking,
well, it tends to water it down.
Where's my when you do something at school or at work, or you're trying to get and you don't get awarded something, even though you finished a task or something? Where's my award? Why didn't I get something for this? Why didn't I get congratulations for it? It's like a built-in thing that builds in your psyche over time.
And not just congratulations, but getting told that you did a good job when you didn't.
Yeah.
That to me is worse than the trophy.
Yeah.
Trophy's a piece of plastic, but if somebody's out there loafing and not trying hard or just doing stuff wrong, and you're like, well, we don't want to hurt their feelings and tell them the truth, that to me is much more of a problem. And if you wanted to criticize that, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a discussion you could have. I just don't think things are all that different since, like, the early 1900s. I think children became sacred because they used to go work in we didn't treat kids great.
Yeah.
So children became sacred because we had a bunch of abundance. And I looked this up. The earliest participation trophy that they could find was in 1922 for some football league or something in the Northeast. But what people have to remember is the participation trophy isn't like a societal, like, telling you where things are, other than children became sacred. People like to do stuff for their kids, and trophies became mass-produced in the 70s.
Yeah.
Do you know when we started mass-producing plastics?
In the 70s?
In the late 60s. So as soon as they were, so it's.
Yeah.
I don't think that people weren't getting the trophies because they were like, no, Billy didn't earn that. It was because they couldn't get them.
Yeah. Because think about it, when you see Olympics, you get not just first place wins get something, first, second, and third get something. And now that, like I said, that's an individual thing. And good play, that was good play.
Oh, Expendables are leading now.
Yep. It's one of those things where, hey, Wasn't just first place that got something. Third place got something.
No, and you should be proud of your bronze
Yes,
medal. I mean,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's not something that is like it's like a foreign thing. Like all of a sudden,
Oh, the Aaron's deciding on the scoreboard. The Expendables are visitor.
Okay.
There you go. See, these are the little fires we have to put out.
yeah, because Aaron's not paying attention, so he's just
Aaron's
listening to
paying
us.
more. Oh yeah, 'cause we're all
He's
we're
listening
so,
to us,
we're
and
so
he's
interested.
filming the clouds with the camera, and not even watching the game.
But
I just think it's
I mean, as soon as people could produce these things, they would give it out. You know?
yeah, and so like I said, but I think as it has watered down everything, like you said, because once you are awarded every time you do something, when you're not awarded, then you're like, well, what was the point? I didn't get anything for it.
Yeah.
So it does kind of get into the mentality of certain people over time and it has watered down everything we do.
And there's a book by Carol Dweck called Mindset, and if you ever, it's a really good book. But her thing in the book is we shouldn't focus so much on awarding somebody for coming in first place or I don't know winning a game. You should award people for progress and for effort, because if you go out there and just beat some trashy team, like okay,
Yeah.
great. Or if you're in like, let's say your lower division team who's obviously better than everybody, cool, you won. I mean, that's nothing to be ashamed of, I guess. But if you weren't really it wasn't competitive, then what are you really proud of?
And that actually goes to a little point that I had about I worked with a defensive coordinator when I coached at Kelly, and it was my first year there. Very good defensive coordinator, very difficult defense, but at practice he was always on edge and always fiery and getting angry when plays got messed up and when the kids didn't do right. But when they did something right, he would never tell them good job or that's what I'm talking about. Like it was just move on to the next play. So in their mind they're thinking, well, did I do it right, or are we just moving on to the next one, or we're just like, they didn't know when they did something right.
Right.
So you've got to tell you have to give that's a good catch. You have to give that acknowledgement of, all right, now you're on the right track, you're doing it right, because that's the only way you improve, and that's what you're talking about rewarding progress. If you're progressing, you need to know you are, because if you don't ever know, if all you ever hear is you're doing bad, and then when you do something good, you don't know, you're not hearing anything. What does that tell you?
Yeah,
well, shit, I'm never gonna.
I hate that thing where it's like, they're like, well, that's what you should do. Well, but you've gotten better at it.
Yeah.
You can't, most people can't just be the best, like walking off the street. So Daniel Kahneman is a psychologist, and he's like probably the most well-known psychologist in the world now. He's from Israel, and he was trying to tell these drill sergeants, or not drill sergeants, but instructors who were doing flight school, he was trying to tell them, like, praise actually works better than criticism. Like, it's better to tell someone that's better, you're doing a better job, than scream at them when they do something wrong. Well, because everything always comes back to the mean. Like if you're a golfer and you usually shoot a 70, that's pretty good. If you usually shoot a 100, and you shoot a 94, well, chances are your next time you're not going to shoot a 94. So you'll shoot a little bit over, and then it'll go back to the mean. So the drill sergeants, like, I tried to give praise, but they would do something especially great, and I would tell them, man, that's an excellent job. Then the next time they would do something not as good. But every time I screamed at them when they did something bad, they did something better. And it's because, well, they're performing under what they usually do, so obviously they're going to do better next time. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll put, from my personal experience, I liked when I would do something good and I would hear, good job, that's the right thing. I liked hearing that because that gives me, I know I'm on the right track. But you know what I learned more from my mistakes and from my losses. I remember those more than anything. There aren't the good things. I don't remember much of those, but I remember those. Those are learning lessons, teachable things to me. Is when I've made a mistake and someone told me that's wrong. I've learned more from that than the good job. That's just me personally, though. Yeah. I feel like that helps you grow more when you hear, all right, that's not right. Let's fix it. And it doesn't matter if it's a yelling at you or someone or just a bad moment. I still learn from that personally.
Yeah, but there's a difference though between telling somebody they suck and then telling them how they can be better.
Yeah.
And just telling them they suck. I think you lose a lot of people whenever you're just everything's negative. And, except for Belichick.
I don't know if he's ever positive or negative. They say he's one of the funniest guys in the world.
I'm
too.
sure that no one other than the people who actually do know him know the real Bill Belichick. So, but yeah, I thought that was a good discussion. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I mean, it's because it's always usually full on one side and full on the other. Like, oh yeah, participation trophies, those people suck, and the other people are like, everybody needs to succeed. I think there's hardly ever any middle ground.
Well, when these boomers I guess they're getting into their 60s and 70s, and they're going to suck all the Social Security dry. That's their little participation trophy.
That's their participation trophy.
We got all the plastic trophies, but we won't get that sweet Social Security money. So thanks, guys. Thanks for the plastic trophies. We hope you enjoy having a little bit of money when you're older, because we won't.
All my trophies burned when my house burned down in 6th grade, so I don't have any of my trophies when I was a kid.
I don't know what. I have no clue where any trophy I have, other than I got a flag football captain of the year in 2012 from Clint in his league, and I have that in my office.
I did. I still have my championship belt from the first year of the Herd winning the championship in SCTX FFL. I still have that.
And it's cool to
displayed prominently in my home.
Like, I don't know. I just think people put way too much into a trophy.
I think so, and that's probably the point is because I even said it last week. Even though we have this participation trophy mentality, good move. We always want a winner and a loser.
Well,
because society wants a winner and a loser.
It's just as competitive as ever. I mean,
think about we want all the participation trophies. Still want the people that are anti-participation trophy to be losers. Your thought is wrong. You're a loser. There's no like, okay, you have a point. We all are okay. There's never like that.
No, and there's a kind of a zero-sum game like.
Why didn't he run that in?
The Ricky Bobby thing, of Ricky Bobby's dad.
Yeah, if you're not first, you're last.
That's so retarded.
Because he ended up coming back as he was off drugs and said, "You can be second, third,
hell, you can be fourth, and you can be fourth and done a really great job. I mean, shit, if you're competing in a race against 100 people when you get fourth, that's really good.
And if you're a female swimmer and you come in second, third, or fourth against a male swimmer.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think that's great.
You still came in second, third, or fourth. But in everyone's mind, you came in first, second, and third.
Yeah. Well, I thought that was a good discussion.
He got a participation trophy.
Yeah.
The first place participation trophy.
Yep. I'm not touching that one yet.
That's what she said.
That's what she or he said.
That's what he said. But also,
I gotta stop.
That's what those pronouns said.
Yeah.
I have a proper noun. I don't go by pronouns. I have a proper noun. Troy is my.
Troy, you
I
will
just go
not
by
go
Troy.
By anything but Troy.
I'm Troy. I have a proper noun. I'm not a.
Well, then you're third person all the time, of course.
I'm always Troy. Troy does not go by.
What if you're in a group of people? And it's like you, I would say we. Would you say Troy and
all these other people?
Troy and all the others?
All the others and Troy.
Okay.
Yes. Well, how about I? Does that count?
Just everything?
I. Me, I, and Troy. Those
I thought it would be very confusing if you chose the pronoun we. Because if
we always
like if Aaron was we.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, where's Aaron at? I'll be like, we'll be here in a little bit.
Yes.
But
always. I'm always in a group of everything.
Hey, is your mom coming?
We'll be here. We'll be there. I'll be there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be there.
That sounds like a terrible group message. Somebody with a doesn't understand. I'll be there. Like, yeah, somebody doesn't know.
We gotta get a handle on this.
See how confusing words are?
Yeah, they are.
That's why, like, Spanish is everything is. There's only one meaning for everything. There's not always multiple meanings.
That's not true at all. I'm doing Spanish lessons. Their language is just as effed up as ours.
I like the usted version of everything.
I like the Vosotros version. That's the royal.
I like Nosotros and usted version of everything. That's how I'm going to start talking, in the usted.
All right. Well, I think this is about halftime. So,
yeah. And the score right now is at halftime, 20-13. Expendables are winning,
and they're going for an extra.
And they're going to go for. Let's see what happens here first, and then we'll
end this break. Troy has an awesome new sign off.
Well, because we said last week we were going to.
like it.
Do you have a new one?
I got one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens here at this
Mine's also a quote.
Okay, yeah. Let's fill the airtime here. They're going for 2 apparently.
Well, they're going for 2.
Rob's backing them up. Beep, beep, beep. All right, Trigger Man at the helm.
Yeah, Trey Green, a.k.a. Trigger Man. He doesn't have his jersey today,
No,
though,
they
so
don't.
he's just Trey Green.
They're wearing their whites, their road whites today. All right.
They also have Nicholas Berluke back.
He is. He's been making plays. He's not out
Yeah.
there at the moment.
Nope.
There's a snap. Double rush. He escapes to the right, throws, and it's picked off by Carnell in the end zone. Now he's getting to the
Carnell
middle of
could
the
take it
field.
back.
And missed flag. They pitch it out to DT, and he is going up the sideline. Josh Hall's tracking him down, and he
He
misses
missed him.
And that's going to be a
That's a
two-pointer.
two-pointer for the other
points
team.
for the home team.
All right.
Give 2 to the home team, and that's going to be a 20 to 15 at the half. What a fun game this is.
Well, all right.
All
I
right.
think I don't have anything left.
All right.
So, do you say yours last?
I'll say my, like I normally
Okay,
do.
like last. Okay. Well, my quote that I'm going to end on I might just do a different quote every week for a while till I find
Yeah,
one.
well, that'll be good.
This is from a woman I worked with one time, and the truth is, it's never been more true. I don't shake people's hands because they be digging in their ass.
I mean, that's just words to live by every day. I like that. Good for her.
Yeah. Okay. Go
All
ahead.
right. Mine is a Henry Rollins quote. And it's, friends may come and go, but 200 pounds is always 200 pounds.